So a question that comes up quite a lot is, why would anyone want to learn with me?
Right. Yeah. I mean, who am I to teach other
yeah.
people the language? And it's totally normal, when you're doing something new like this, and a lot of people who are not natural teachers may not feel confident with that. But if you what's interesting here is actually to think about teachers that you've had in the past and think about why you liked them. I mean, do you remember your favorite teacher from school?
I had
Did you have one?
There was Mr. Parkinson. He was my physics teacher, and he was just a lovely guy. He was very, very funny, very dry. I mean, we're, I don't know, 11, 12 years old, and he treated...
You were 11, 12.
I was, yeah, he wasn't. And he just kind of treated us like adults, and it was just, it was just a fun guy. He's the reason I ended up doing physics at A-level. I'm not really sure why I did physics at A-level, because I wasn't very good at it. I didn't really like it very much. But, it was just, he was, that kind of...
So you made career choices there because of this...
I didn't go in any further with it, which is probably for the best. But it was his kind of inspiration.
My favourite teacher from school, I remember very clearly a guy called Mr. Simmons. Lovely guy, or at least he seemed lovely to the 14-year-old Ollie. And I think he was an RE teacher, so religious education. Yeah. Which is, I don't know if they still do that now, but we had that at our school. And I really don't remember a thing that he taught me. I just remember he was really, really nice. A bit like you said, he talked to us all as adults. He treated us all as adults, and he was funny, and it just made it so that every lesson that we came to, we enjoyed it, and we enjoyed being there. We liked his company, and it was just compared to some of the other teachers we had, this made school a lot nicer experience.
So what's the lesson we can take from that?
The lesson here is that students, when they're learning, they want to learn from a real person. I mean, yes, they want competence. They want you to know what you're talking about. But, it's very rare that students will choose a teacher based on their qualifications or their pieces of paper. They want to learn from a real person. And so for us as teachers, what we need to focus on is how do we be that real person? How do we be the person who supports the student? And then how do we also find students who we can help authentically as people?
And that's our unique qualities as a teacher. So it could be our background.
And we all have these. It's very common for new teachers to think, well, who am I? I don't have anything to offer. I've just worked in an office my whole life. But actually, there are so many skills, transferable skills, that we've all developed over the course of our lifetimes that can really help students in their specific situation.
Can you think of any examples?
So I remember one message, I got an email from someone once who was really, really wanted to train to teach, but she said, Ollie, I've just worked in an office my whole life writing reports for an IT company, and she said, I've had such a boring career. What could I possibly have to offer? So I thought about it for a second, and I said, well, let me ask you this: how many people in the world work in IT companies? Tens of millions, most likely. How many people in these companies have to write emails? All of them. How many people have to kind of prepare reports or do admin type work? Like a huge number of them. And so actually, you as a person who spent their entire lives writing official documents and emails and reports, you have the exact skill set that tens of millions of people around the world want to learn. You may think it's boring, but actually for these people, to learn with someone like you who's done that in an English-speaking environment your whole life is absolutely
exactly what they want.
It's exactly what they want.
Yeah, I trained somebody who had worked 30 years, 40 years even in the legal profession. She was a lawyer. She decided it was time for a complete change in her life, so she decided to train to teach languages, to teach English. And again, she thought, well, how does my background help me with that? How does it link at all? Now she's teaching legal English.
Teaching legal English to lawyers.
Yeah, exactly. Many of whom don't necessarily have English as a first language. So,
and a lawyer they need to be pretty accurate in there. So there's
absolutely.
a huge incentive for them
exactly
to speak and write really correct English.
For me to teach legal English, but for her, it's perfect.
And I imagine teaching lawyers as well, she can command a fairly good hourly rate as well. So. And so it just goes to show that people who may think they have nothing to offer students have a huge amount, and it's just about teasing that out, which is something that we really focus quite heavily on in SEALD.
Yeah.